Welcome to Ghost Hunting, getting started. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome and thank you. I'm Tim Arnwine. I'm a retired paramedic turned ghost hunter and author. Currently, I'm a case manager and investigator for War Party Paranormal and co-founder of Ghostly Experiences, Inc. Now, this week, we're going to start getting into our tools. But we're going to start basic. Today, we're going to be talking about infrared thermometers. Now, I call them basic because they are, but they were a valuable part of any ghost hunting toolkit. Now, infrared thermometers, you're going to use them for baseline readings and throughout the investigation. So they're valuable through the whole process. Now, remember I told you for baseline readings, all you're really doing is you're making a visual record of the location prior to the investigation. Usually done with the lights on. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to be walking around with a thermometer. This is a pistol grip. Or as we've talked about before, the millimeter. Now, the millimeter is good because it has EMF and thermometer. But today we're just going to be focusing on the thermometer aspect of it. Now, remember, you're going to be walking around for baselines. You're going to be taking temperature readings. Okay, now if there's any cold spots, document them, because it may come in handy during the investigation. Because remember, during the investigation, the lights are off. So someone may sense a cold spot or get another reading on their own thermometer of like a 10 or 12 degree drop. You can always just remember back to your baseline and say, no, there's an AC vent near you, or I think there's a leaky window. Okay? Because remember, cold spots can come from AC vents, fans, windows and doors, especially in the cooler months. Or if you shoot an infrared thermometer at a large metal or stainless steel area, it'll get a colder reading, like an appliance. Now, during the investigation, they're valuable because now you're starting to put specific numbers to feelings or experiences. So if somebody says, oh, I have a cold spot, or I think I'm being touched, shoot an infrared around them and see if there's a drop. If there is a drop, it'll give you a number. Most of these will. They'll give you a specific number, like the room may be 74, but in this one area, it may be 62. So now you have a specific number for your documentation. Remember, you're just building on your evidence. All these are tools to build onto your evidence. Okay? Now, there's a lot of thermometers, and most of them are combined with other tools. Like we've talked about, the millimeter, it has an EMF and a thermometer. Okay? Now, I like to break them into three groups. So the first group we always talk about is the most basic. I call it the handheld or pocket. You can shove it in your pocket, carry it with you wherever you go. This is the most basic. This is a flat handheld thermometer. Okay? It's very easy to operate. You press the IR button. What you see, what you get. You point it, you get it. Now, you may have seen AC people carry these around. If they come to your house and do some AC work, you may see them pull out this probe to put in the AC duct. Now, you won't need the probe, because any infrared thermometer you're going to use should be contactless. Means you shouldn't have to put it on the object to get a reading. I only bring this up because you can see that these are available anywhere. Most hardware stores carry these. Okay? And they are powered by button battery or AAA batteries. Very basic. Press, read. Okay? Next one is the pistol grip. Now, it's a little bigger, but it can still fit in your pocket. Same thing, very basic. You hit the trigger, point it, and whatever you see is what you get. Okay? Now, these usually run on 9-volt batteries. Okay? Now, we're going to start to get into the combinations. Now, the first set I like to use because, remember, they're specific. They have digital readouts. So they will give you the degree it's picking up. instead of just a tone, a tone alert or the lights going on. So the first one, which we've talked about before, is the millimeter. Now the millimeter, I told you, this model has two options. It has EMF and thermometer. There's another one that has a RimPod, and we'll talk about RimPod as we go down the road. Okay? So the top number is EMF, bottom number is your temperature. Now if you notice, the temperature is there and it's live. It's always going to be changing. Okay? Now, this yellow thing that you'll see on top with a little blue wire hanging on it is actually the temperature probe. It gives it more of a feel for it to bring contact into it. And it's, if you're worried about hurting it when you pack it away, it easily just comes out and slips back in. Okay? But I like it because it gives you a number. See, now it's 68.1. A moment ago it was 67.9. So it's always changing. Now a lot of these, what I'm going to show you coming up, are what I call stationary. Means you can put them in an area and just leave them there, because it's a live reading. You can put a camera on it. If there's a place where there's a lot of activity or history of activity, like maybe footsteps, cold spots, things like that, put it there, put a camera on it, and that way you'll be able to have documentation of temperature changes. Now the next one is very popular. It's the EDI, E-D-I, okay, plus. Now the plus means that you can put an SD card in here and it will record by graphs all the activity. Okay. Now this particular, all the EDIs, this particular model, and all have the three things. They have the temperature. Okay. If it's cold, if it's a change, it'll let you know. Here's a sensor. Okay. EMF sensor. If it senses an EMF change, these will light up. And if this is a geophone, if there's some kind of vibration or movement, very, very sensitive. It'll pick up stuff. Okay? But it has to vibrate. So if you put it down, it'll light up if it feels a vibration. Okay? But like I said, the temperature's live, so you can put a camera on it. Especially if there's a place like there's footprint, footsteps going on. Put it here. It'll be your geophone will go off and it'll show if there's any cold spots. Okay. Now the other one I like that I carry around a lot is what's called a FLIR camera. Now they're also making these in smartphone attachments. But what I like about it is it has the live temperature reading in this corner. I like to carry this with me because it fits in a little thing I have around my belt. It'll give me, it's a heat signature, so it'll let me know if someone says, I think I see a shadow down there. You can point it out there, see if a shadow comes up. But it has a live temperature reading. So if somebody says, oh, I feel a cold spot around me, I can just whip this out and it'll let me know the live number. Okay? So those things are great because, like I said, they give you numbers to actually write down for documentation. Now the next set is tools that they don't give you the number, but they'll give you tone alerts and lights going off if there's temperature changes. The first one is the RimPod. Now the RimPod actually has an EMF. It creates its own EMF field and it will light up. But it will also, if there's temperature changes, it will light up. Okay? That's EMF. Now, if you look here, on the very top of the thing, top of the device, you will see something called Temp 0. Now it's this button here. And what you can do, you can press this and it will reset the temperature back to 0. So when there's changes, it's like starting fresh. Okay? And you can use this for baselines. You can actually put it down and it'll start fresh. And if there's any temperature changes, it'll let you know. But remember, these are mostly stationary. You put these down in one area where you think there's activity. Okay? Now, the power on a RimPod is basically a slide over here at the bottom. Slide it over. And obviously, you see it right there. It runs on a 9-volt battery. Okay. Now, next one. This is pretty new to the field. This is called a Crosshair thermal detector. And it just does temperature. Now, the reason I just threw it in here is because there's no specific numbers. But this is a pretty cool tool. You power it on. Okay. Now, if you see, there's 6 LED lights. Now, there's an X and a Y axis, so it's actually catching from all directions. Now, if it catches a temperature change, it depends if it's warmer, the lights will get red. If it's a cooler change, the lights will get blue. But you can just put this down in an area, and then if a cold spot is in it, it'll let you know what direction it is. Okay? Now there's some buttons on the side where the 0 is that on this side. So I mean now it's hotter. I'll point out the computer. Now the 0 button on the side sets it back to 0, like we mentioned in the RimPod. But this will give you a 6 or 7 second time frame to get away from the device. So it's really starting at 0. This one, auto 0. If you press this button, this will reset the device back to 0 every 10 to 12 seconds. So you're kind of getting a fresh reading every 10 to 12 seconds. And these also run on 9-volt batteries. Okay? Now the last one is part of a spirit box. This is the SB11. Now we'll talk about more about this as we go along. But the SB11 is actually 2 SB7 spirit boxes in one. You can sweep, reverse, forward at different rates. But at the bottom of it, all these numbers are temperatures. Okay? Now what you would do, you'd power on the unit here. Okay. Mine's on the fritz right now, so you're not going to see any lights. I'm just going to show you where the buttons are. Power on the unit, and then if you go to this side, you'll see a slide where it shows temperature. Just slide it to temperature. That turns on the temperature option. And then you can actually set it to what degree you want to be alerted at. -5 degrees, -3 degrees. It goes -5 to +5. Okay? So those are the tools on temperatures, getting temperature readings. Most of them are very specific. It will give you a number. Jot down the number. Document as much as you can. And all you're really doing, you just build it onto your evidence. Now, if one of the others go off, like a RimPod goes off, or a Melmeter shows a difference, or the Crosshair goes off, document it. Document that there was a cold spot. Okay? All you're doing is build it onto the evidence. Okay? Now, the EVP we're going to put at the end of this. The EVP is coming from the Redland Hotel. It's coming from the kitchen area, the back, where there's storage room. Now, this one particular area seems to be very active. So we caught this EVP. I'm going to play it for you and analyze it, and let me know what you think. Okay? Send your responses into ghosthunting@gmail.com, or send them into Longhair Ghost Hunter SOFL, the Facebook, or send them right into the channel. Okay? And I appreciate any responses I get. Like I said, you have hearing matrix. You can hear something completely different. Okay? Now, next week, I'm actually taking a week off. Proud daddy, my son's starting college. So I'm going to take off to get him situated in his college routine. Okay? But announcement. August 29th and 30th, I'll be up with the team I'm with, War Party Paranormal, incredible team. We're going to be up doing the West Palm Beach, doing the UltraCon, okay, the South Florida Fairgrounds. Now, August 29th, we're actually going to be at the UltraCon, and then that evening, we're going to be doing historic haunts, a public investigation. What I like to call, interactive investigations, because the guests actually investigate with us. So, and we always have a lot of fun up there. It's, there's 4 or 5 different locations that are active. The most famous is probably the Riddle House. It's been seen on Ghost Adventures and things like that. So come on up. The UltraCon is going all day. I'm actually going to be there the 29th and 30th of the day with my book, Ghost Hunting Getting Started, doing book signings and talking to people. So listen, come on out. If you're in South Florida, come on out. Go to southfloridafair.com. Check out ticket prices for the historic haunts, the investigation. Come on out to the UltraCon, meet the team, and share experience with us. So like I said, I'm going to take off next week, be college daddy, and but I'll be back the week after, and we'll get into some more tools. So if you're going out ghost hunting, please be careful, be safe, and good luck. And if you want to share any evidence with us, please do. Send them in to the the Facebook or the email, or right to the channel, and let us give you some feedback on it. So I thank you guys for everything. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If you like the journey we're on, ghost hunting, getting started, please subscribe and check out the book. It goes at Amazon. So thanks again for everything, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Hey guys, so here's the EVP for today. This is taken from the Red Lane Hotel in the kitchen area. In the back of the kitchen area is a storage area that seems to be very active. So this was taken on one of our recent investigations. So listen up and I'll tell you what I think it says.
How many people are here right now? How many people are here right now?
Now remember, the larger spikes.
How many people are here right now?
Or me asking the question. Now the lower spikes, remember, they're infrasound. They're going to be the EVP. So I'll let you listen to the whole EVP again.
How many people are here right now?
I think it says 7. But listen to it and let me know what you think. So send in your comments to ghosthuntinggettingstarted@gmail.com, or send them into Longhair Ghost Hunter SOFL, the Facebook, or send them right into their channel. I appreciate any response, because remember, you have hearing matrix. You might hear something completely different. So thank you, and we'll see you guys real soon.